I'm Rita Cook with Politics and How It Affects You, and I am sitting here this morning with Richard Rozier. How are you today?
I'm great. How are you doing?
Good, and you're running for County Commissioner Precinct 3.
I am.
And you are running against the incumbent, from what I understand, right?
That is correct, yes.
Okay, all right, so you're a conservative Republican. I read a little bit about him today, and I don't even want to even try to say all the things that you've done around here, so why don't you tell our viewers what all you have been involved in, not only in Ellis County, but also in Dallas. It seems like you know a lot of what's going on.
Well, I appreciate that, Rita. Thank you very much, and I want to say thank you for y'all tuning in and watching today. And you're right, I've served in a lot of different capacities and had the opportunity to serve our community in a lot of ways. I really believe in public service. I think it's an opportunity to serve.
Sure.
It's not a position of the lord over people or
that
exactly. Kind of thing. It's an opportunity to serve and give back to the community. And that's why I'm running. And I'm really, as you said, I'm running in opposition to the current commissioner, but really I'm running for the position. I want to bring what I've learned and the things I've done in life to have the opportunity to serve our community in that role. So my background is I was my first opportunity to serve in the public area, if you will, was as a chaplain for the DeSoto Police Department.
Oh, really? Okay.
In the early 90s.
Who was the police chief over there then?
A guy named Bob Hayes was the police chief.
Okay, all right. Wow, these are all names I don't even know from
Well, and some people in Ellis County, particularly down in the Maypearl area, will remember Boyd Norton, who was the chief there in Maypearl.
Okay.
And Boyd was a sergeant at that time, and somebody gave him my name, and he contacted me and asked me if I'd be interested in serving. So I was the first chaplain that the DeSoto Police Department ever had.
That's an interesting story. Okay.
Served in that capacity for a number of years, and got to know a lot of our great police officers there and work with them. And then about in 1994, I ran for city council and was elected.
Okay.
And really, I felt like some great things then.
Okay.
In that first few months of service, we had a charter election that the council called. We put together a charter review committee.
Okay.
And in that charter review committee, we put in, one of the things we did was put term limits in that people, and the voters approved that. And,
that was a good idea.
Yeah.
Because I think that needs to happen in all the cities around here, really.
Well, I'm a big fan of it because I think that, again, it's a service. It's not a career.
Exactly.
Nobody owns it.
Right. Exactly.
So we did that, and we also put in that the council had to appoint a committee every 5 years to review the charter.
Okay, all right.
And that was really good. So the next year, make that long story a little shorter, next year I ran for mayor.
Okay.
And a lot of folk came to me and asked me to run. And so I served my 2 terms under our new charter.
Okay.
And then I did what I've always done, and that is go to work. Of course, many people may know as a mayor you don't get paid.
Right.
So I was making a living anyway at that time working. And I went back into business, my business life, and for about 20 years now, that's what I've done. I've been an independent small businessman here in Ellis County.
What kind of business is it?
I have 3 businesses. A buddy of mine called me a serial entrepreneur. But,
that's one of those things you can be called.
Absolutely. I'm proud of that. I'm proud of that label. But I have a consulting company that works with private companies that do business with local governments.
Okay.
We've worked all over the United States, and there's a lot I've learned in that process over the last 20 years.
Okay.
And I'm that business has been very successful. I'm very thankful for that.
Okay.
I also have an electric brokerage company that I started here in Ellis County, and we sell retail power to commercial businesses.
Wow, okay.
Mainly manufacturing and office and things like that. We don't sell residential.
Right.
And then a couple of years ago, I started a solid waste consulting company, and we help cities do RFPs for solid waste, help them go out to the marketplace, decide who they want to do business with. And that business has done very, very well in recent years. So
wow, okay.
That's my business, things that I'm involved in, yeah.
You don't have a lot of time. So let's talk really quick about, so I know that you had said that you were looking for a conservative agenda, that you wanted things to change a little bit at the Commissioner's Court. So tell me, and then law enforcement, fire protection, and improved roads. And you have 64 bridges, and there would be 64 bridges, 293 road miles if you get. I already gave you this job here. So roads seem to be a problem out here everywhere in Ellis County. So is that something that you're looking at pretty strongly?
Absolutely.
Okay.
No question about it. And My feeling is this. I don't ever want to use the excuses we don't have enough money or we can't do that.
Right.
That's not ever the answer. The answer is let's figure out how we can do it. Let's figure out what we can do together to bring a positive solution and a positive answer to our problem.
Sure.
I believe in taking extreme ownership.
Okay.
And that will be the way I will act when I get in office.
Okay.
And I just feel like we could say, oh yeah, our roads are bad, and they are.
Yeah.
Our bridges need repair, and they do.
Right.
But the answer is not to throw our hands up.
Right.
The answer is to get out, work with our constituents, find out what the needs is. One of the plans that I want to do is I want to first, when I get in office in January of next year, I want to inventory our roads. Now we know what roads we have and what the names of them are.
Right.
But I want to inventory them and grade them in the A, B, C, D, E, and F
that's
category.
a great idea. That's a great idea.
And we'll grade them in several different ways. One way will be obviously how are they? Mm-hmm. What's the status of the road? A lot of potholes, deteriorating, right away, whatever we need to look at.
Right.
Number two would be how much traffic is on that road.
Sure.
And so we'll look at lots of different things to grade the road. But once we do that, then we'll establish a work plan that's a multi-year work plan that we're not just looking at 1 year. We're not looking at this month, and then people can go online, see that work plan, decide see when their road's going to be improved.
Sure, yeah.
And then we obviously always have to do our maintenance work and all that. But those are the kind of
bring people into the let the constituents be a part of the solution and the decisions. Okay.
Absolutely.
So that's good. So I guess. What else do you have to say? What else do you want the viewers to know? I mean, law enforcement, it sounds like you have a lot of law enforcement history because you started out with the chaplain position. Do you think that there's problems there that could be improved in Ellis County?
Well, I'm going to let the folks running for sheriff address those problems or issues, but I do believe I'll share one very, very, what I think is an important issue.
Okay.
Is that in Ellis County, not just in Ellis County, but in our state, the legislature passed, as a lot of people know, the Tier 2 or the ability for the citizens to vote whether they want to be annexed or not. So that's going to put a damper, if you want to say it that way, on annexation.
Right.
Which, by the way, I supported that legislation. I voted for it when it was on our ballot here in Ellis County. And I'm a county resident. I don't live in the city limits. My mailing address is Midlothian, but I live in the county.
Okay.
So I'm big time in favor of that type of thing. So the reality, though, is that's going to put a major strain on our law enforcement budget, on our rural fire departments, on our EMS system, and so that's something I really want to work hard on to make sure that we have the resources that our first responders need to do the job that's so important to them.
And I think you were the president of the Ellis County Emergency Service District number 6 too, right?
Exactly, yeah.
It's like just pulling these things out of the hat that you've done. You've been busy. All right, well, thank you so much for coming on, and good luck with everything, Richard. And Richard Rozier, what is your, people can see your website at?
Yeah, it's richardrozier.com, pretty simple. And you can email me at richard@richardrozier.com. And find us on Facebook at Richard Rozier for County Commissioner.
Great, thank you so much. I'm Rita Cook with Politics and How It Affects You.